Joined by former governor of California, Gray Davis. Gray, all right, well, $1 million, you're getting a little publicity. Is this just like kabuki theater to say, forget about the big 800-pound elephant in the room that we're like $22 billion upside down?
No, I think it's fine. I mean, it's a good idea. It shows the administration trying to do everything it can to put its house in order. But obviously, real change is not going to occur until we do things we've been talking about for years but have not yet done.
Yeah, now
47 states.
Yeah, I mean, but
I just mentioned the
sure.
most obvious one? 47 states pass a budget on a majority vote. So does Congress. California is one of 3 states that doesn't do that. I'm not talking about raising taxes. I would keep that at a 2/3 vote. But let's pass a budget on a majority vote, not a 2/3 vote. That alone will solve a lot of problems.
I'm an old Californian. I love this thing when you guys, start. You always remind me like the South Korean Congress where they start like duking it out, for like 5 days because they can never pass anything, right? I just think we should go to a boxing match, but that's my whole thing, But my question is this. My question is this.
A boxing match is easier than a 2/3 vote.
That's exactly right. So 52,000 cars. What the hell are you guys doing with 52,000? Can't people like take their own car to work and like drive back to work? Why does a state need 52,000 cars?
You should ask Fred that question.
Oh, no,
that's
you're not in politics anymore, Mr. Governor. So I don't understand. I mean, I get the sense that this was going to be like that movie Office Space, where like they're taking the staplers away. And, I mean, what good does it do ultimately? Why wouldn't you do this? If you take that money and make a one interest payment for the day to show how much interest you guys, wouldn't that make better sense?
Look, I think there's a whole bunch of things that ought to be done. But clearly, cleaning house, getting rid of excess, cutting down on perks, that's all good stuff.
Right.
It's on the margins. It's not going to solve the problem, but at least it shows the right attitude, the right spirit, and let's have a little fun with it.
All right, now
the real problem,
go ahead.
The real solution comes from, as I say, reducing the vote to a majority, passing the open primary, which will be on the ballot next June, which means the top 2 vote getters, whether 2 Republicans, 2 Democrats, 2 Green Parties candidates run off against one another. That will get more moderates, more problem solvers in office, and then adopting a spending limit and a rainy day fund. Those 4 things will go a long ways to solving our problems.
Well, there's no question that California, has been a situation where you spent more than you brought in, or when you hit the high tax rate in 2000. What was that number that like 45 people paid like 40% of all taxes in 2000? I mean, you guys were just out of whack for a long time, right? This is nothing new.
Well, it's been around for more than a decade. You're absolutely right. And we depend too much on the income tax. In good years, high earners, the top 1%, pay about 50% of all the taxes. And good years means a good real estate market and a good stock market. Bad years, just the opposite. Their losses offset ordinary income. So the governor has a commission underway looking at more stable revenues. And I think at the end of the day, they're going to lower the sales tax and expand it to include law firms, accounting firms, car repair, all services, because our economy is probably 90% service, 10% manufacturing.
Well, that's a great point. You guys are different than it used to be. Now, you are a politician. Our show is called Scoreboard. Recovering, exactly. A recovering lawyer too. So, as a scoreboard show, I got to ask you, what do you think the chances are that they're actually going to pass this referendum that says that they would do a rainy day fund? I mean, to me, that seems like a fantasy dream that if they didn't do it when they had all the extra money coming in, they're not going to do it now when they're upside down so much.
I don't think the legislature will pass it. They put it on the ballot in May, but unfortunately they coupled it with a $12 billion tax increase.
Right.
They just raised our taxes $12 billion in February, and they wanted another $12 billion in May, and people said forget it. So I think signatures will have to be gathered. Outside groups will have to put it on the ballot. But if you tell the voters, we're going to have a spending limit based on the average spending over the last 10 years, factor in population growth, CPI, and a rainy day fund in case you have a very good year, you put money aside, you don't use it till you get in the next recession, they're going to say, hey, duh, that's how we live our life. It's going to pass like knife through hot butter.
All right, well, that's a fabulous. I hope that as a former Californian, I hope you work that through. Former governor of California, Gray Davis, thank you.